Postgame show. It is presented by Fox One. Scott Braun, Erik Kratz, Pierzynski. Dodgers go up 3-0 in the NLCS, one win away from a World Series appearance, and they are trying to become the first team to win back-to-back World Series title in a quarter century. Okay, so Dodgers win a close game. Brewers can't score. Dodgers pitching is dominant. Starting pitching continues to dominate. I mean, AJ, you saw this when you won a World Series title in 2005. We have Snell, we have Yamamoto, and Glasnow didn't go as deep into these games, but he also was quite dominant for them.
I mean, what was my lock today? Glasnow 5.5 punchies. I said he'd get 8 or 9. He got 8, right? I mean, that was like, in the shadows. I mean, it couldn't talk about the shadows anymore if they tried on TV. So, I mean, it was like, before the first pitch, they were like, man, look at these shadows. There weren't even any shadows. But, I mean, come on. And it just proves, listen, starting pitching wins. The Brewers are trying to be cute. They're using their opener. It didn't work. Tyler Glasnow, Ashby gave up 1 run. Why not just start Misiorowski? He's throwing 102. If he's going to give you 5 innings, why not just start him? He was making the Dodgers look until the 5th inning he was in. They couldn't touch him. Why not just let him start? I don't understand. We're trying to be cute. We want to be cute. We want to be cute. Just start the guy. Let's see what he's got. I mean, if he could do this for 5 innings and keep him to 0, maybe he got a chance. But you give up the run in the first. The Dodger crowd gets behind it. I know they tied it at 1, but it just seemed like the Dodgers were never going to lose this game.
Yeah, they were in control. I get it. It was tied. Misiorowski did awesome. The Dodgers offense always keeps them in the game, and obviously their starting pitching is they're just on another planet right now. But what AJ's saying about being cute with it, like, this is a team, and people are going to argue with me that they said, well, you didn't face Yamamoto, Snell, or Glasnow when you swept the Dodgers earlier. You're right, you didn't. But you also didn't have an opener to pitch any of those games. Why do we feel like you have to change up? It's not even changing up the mojo. It's changing up the rhythm of the game. How does this rhythm of the game in the playoffs, how does it change from the regular season? It changes if you allow it to change. If you don't allow it to change, you're just taking another at-bat against another big league pitcher. All of them are good big league pitchers. You're not going to face any clunkers. Why change everything up? Because you think there's a slight advantage? Like if Aaron Ashby is going to go out there and he's going to just strike everybody out. Yeah, obviously you're gonna get him to face the top of the order. You're going to get him to face the highest leverage inning as you can. But that's not the case. You still have a pitcher that has to face tough hitters. If Misiorowski is going to get all those outs, the analytics say, well, you don't want him to face him 3 times. Okay, figure that out in a moment, but why change what's been working for you and made you the best team, the best record in the regular season when you get to the playoffs? To me, it's a little panic move, but it's kind of on par, so nobody loses their job. Nobody's questioning it because everybody else does it. Well, sometimes not what everybody else does works. Look at the Dodgers.
No, listen, here's my thing. It's the front office trying to be too cute, and they tell people we got to do this and we got to do that, and it hasn't worked. It hasn't worked in this series twice now. They've lost both games they've started. They also lost a game where Freddie Peralta started. But and listen, no offense to Ashby, but he's not exactly known for throwing a lot of strikes. So if you could give him advantageous matchups out of the bullpen, he's usually been better than he was because he was a starter, let's not forget. Mm-hmm. And Misiorowski has started too, and yes, he's been better out of the bullpen. But it's hard for me to believe, and I said this earlier on Foul Territory, that the team that had the best record in baseball has started an opener 2 of the first 3 games of the LCS. Quinn Priester, who they won how many games? They won 19 games of starts in a row of his. He didn't start. They used the opener. Do you not believe in your guy enough to have him start the first inning, or are we trying to be too cute? That's all I want to know, because it seems like we're trying to be too cute.
Brewers had no business being here. Let's be real. Fluke-ass year from Nando. And also,
Nando's a Dodger fan. Let's not lie.
Openers are a testament to Ohtani despite his struggles. Hey, Ohtani has had back-to-back games with big hits. I mean, he did come through with a triple. It wasn't the prettiest, right? Everyone's sitting there, AJ, looking for that Ohtani sweet swing and all the power that he brings.
That
But
one's funny.
that was a big 2-strike triple. At least they
It was.
beat us 6 times in the regular
That one's
season.
pretty funny. That just goes to
Yeah.
show you what the regular season means, right? But yeah, you're right. He got the triple to get him going. He got him on the board 1-0, and the opener failed to work. And guess when Misiorowski came in? What, the fourth batter of the game or whatever it was? He was in the first inning. I don't know. I don't know that I love the opener. I mean, I get why some teams do it, but man, we're in the LCS, man. Like, I don't know. Listen, they're smarter than me. I'm just saying. I don't. They're down 3-0, and then 2 of the 3 games have been started by a guy who hasn't started for him a whole lot this whole year, and there's a reason why. Because he couldn't throw enough strikes, and he was getting hit, so they put him in the bullpen.
2 things. First off, props to MLB Perfect Inning 25. Just want to shout them out. They're giving us a little wallpaper as we chat, showing you those player cards. But wait, there's more. Jose Quintana is going to be a big factor in Game 4, but I'm trying to go through as many of the quotes from Murph and from anyone else connected to the Brewers before the game, and it sounded like Quintana showing up to the ballpark thinking he was going to be a factor in Game 3. And I get it. Always be ready. But here, we can add on again. AJ, Quintana is a starter, a veteran starter. You caught him, right?
Who's been good. I caught his debut. He's a veteran starter.
Why are we messing with him, though?
Dude,
He's showing up today thinking, oh, this is my day. Let me prep myself. I'm going to give the team 5 innings. Then it's like, nah, just kidding. Now tomorrow. And I know he's not the only one. Sometimes teams wait to see who's going to start what games. But this is like an unnecessary component in my mind. It's becoming too much, and I think it's catching up to them.
I tell you why. Because why was Misiorowski not Quintana? Because they started a lefty trying to mess with the Dodgers. Well, the Dodgers aren't that dumb. They're not trading out most of their lineup, honestly, at this point, because they knew that somebody was coming in after him. So what did Dave Roberts just went with his normal 9? I mean, it's the same 9 guys all the time. I don't know. I mean, it's a strange thing to me that this is where we're at, but it is what we are in baseball, and teams are trying it. But yeah, they went Ashby for the first guys in the lineup, and Misiorowski was in the first, and then why not bring Quintana in? Well, they had to save somebody for tomorrow, so why not just start Jose Quintana? Are they gonna pitch a righty to start the game tomorrow to try to mess with the Dodgers? Guess what? It's still going to be Shohei. It's still going to be Mookie. It's still going to be Teo. It's still going to be Freddie. It's still going to be Will Smith. So I don't know what to do.
And also at this point, I don't want to say it doesn't matter. You got to still win another game if you're Los Angeles, but the Dodgers are up 3-0. Look at the history books. It doesn't really happen. This is not the 2004 Red Sox suddenly over in Milwaukee, unless they're all ripping shots before the game suddenly tomorrow. And actually, speaking of which, the dude who's barely old enough to drink looked pretty hurt. Mid-AB, Jackson Churio, who's been one of the bright spots for them offensively. He had the homer in the last game, and Kratz, it looks like he's pretty banged up with that hamstring. I mean, he hopped right off the field, very emotional. He's been hurt, too, and he's still contributing at a high level for them, but they said he can't even bend that knee. The hamstring's been a big problem for him since Game 1 of the DS, and he's trucking through it. I mean, he'd be on the injured list if this was the regular season.
For sure, because they wouldn't want him to injure it worse and miss more games. But hey, it's not the regular season, so the Brewers aren't doing things like the regular season. So let's throw him out there. Bad hamstring and all. Let's just do like don't deviate from what makes you go. But I hope it's a cramp. I hope it was like Frenchie was saying, like, maybe that's a cramp, but I don't think you come out of the game for a cramp. I mean, he was hopping off the field. That's a huge loss, and especially a team that's not hitting.
That ain't no cramp. Kratz, that ain't no cramp. Listen, I seen dudes with cramps. That ain't no cramp. Because if it was a cramp, they would have had him on the ground. They would have stretched him. He actually tried to stretch himself, if you remember watching it. And then he ran off the field even faster. That's what was crazy. He was like trying to stretch it, and everyone, Frenchie and Ron Darling, in the post was trying to say that, he had to stretch his hamstring. And all of a sudden, as soon as he tried to stretch it, he hopped off the field. And you know what? I hate to say this about a fan base, but why were the Dodger fans booing? Like there was booing going on because he was hurt. Like I was a little bit. I wasn't very happy about that. I mean, the guy was clearly hurt, And they're booing him. I maybe they didn't know what was going on. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, but that was a bad look.
You're saying when he was testing himself out,
when he was
they
coming
were
out the
booing?
field, if you go back and listen to it, there were boos coming out of the crowd, which is not cool because the guy was really hurt.
Yeah, I mean, they wouldn't be the first fan base to do that, but yes, it's not the move when someone's out. And technically for Dodger fans, I mean, that definitely helps the cause. He's arguably the best bat on the team.
Do it.
So him out of the mix definitely hurts. So
Jimenez again, just by the way, sorry, I know we're talking about one game, but Jimenez
and a lot of people are going to see this in the morning. But yes, we will talk all about ALCS tomorrow since we're not doing a post-game show for that one. But I do want to remind everyone too that's watching at the moment, because we're still going to go for a little bit. If you're watching right now and you don't usually watch us, please subscribe to Foul Territory. That would be cool. Appreciate that. We're doing a lot of these post-game shows. Our crew is hustling. We're hustling. We're on 1 o'clock Eastern every single day all year long. And we're doing a lot of these post-game shows. We'll continue to do them, of course, into the World Series as well. All right, let's keep going here. AJ, Dodger offense. Not explosive today, but enough.
Does enough. Don't they always just seem to do enough? I mean, Uribe had the error that gave him the third run, but Tommy Edman with the huge hit in the 6th inning, like off a lefty, or was it? No, sorry, off Miz. Sorry. But the key was the 2 walks, right, before Edman got up. The 2 walks put the guys in scoring position. Edman got the hit. Great base running by Freddie Freeman to go first to third. Then Uribe had to throw over to Edman. He threw it away, and Freddie scored. Fast Freddie Freeman. If you don't know, you should know. But, yeah, I mean, the key was the walks by Misiorowski. He'd been so good before that, too. And he walked Will Smith. He walked Freddie. And then all of a sudden, Edman kind of slashed that ball to center. And next thing you know, it's 2-1. Then it's 3-1. And then the Dodgers bullpen, man, give them a ton of credit, boy. I mean, Sasaki looks filthy. Vesia did his job. Trinan looked like playoff Blake Trinan. I mean, Bonda came in and did a nice job. It was lockdown from them. And let's not forget Glasnow was pretty damn good, too.
Yeah. What else can you say? There's a air of like you're playing against two of the best teams left in the National League, and there's very small margin for error, and the Dodgers just don't make that small a margin for error, and so that's what puts them over the top. Max Muncy's playing the second inning where runner on third, he dove to his left to be able to make that throw home. Normally, a guy dives to his left there. You know what? I just don't rush it. I'm just going to go to first. Gets up, throws home. Beautiful play. Max Muncy's not even like one of their like elite defenders out there. Like these guys they show play in and play out, game in and game out, and so far series in and series out, that they're the better team because they're winning the close games, the 1-2 run games.
Yeah, that was the chance to do a little more damage in an inning. So that top of the second, you had 1 out, and then Durbin hit the triple to the left field corner. Kike dove for it, missed. Bowers hit the tying 2-strike RBI knock up the middle, and they said on the broadcast that actually broke up an 0 for 37 for the Brewers against non-fastballs by the Dodgers. Clearly a game plan for them in the first 2, and also Yamamoto and Snell. That's really the big part of their game. But then Ortiz had that fielder's choice, and they said on the broadcast Dodgers were working on infield throws for 20 minutes before the game. Is that normal, by the way?
Yeah, every team does it.
Every single game, regular and postseason? Yeah.
Yes. They're out there before. They used to be – used to take your grounders during BP. Now all the teams take them before BP. You used to also take like an infield. And teams really, you know this, Kratz, teams don't take infield anymore. They don't do it. They take their grounders. They do their defensive work before they hit. And then – because, heck, we talked about this earlier. Nobody hits on the field anymore, so you have extra time. Because you only have like 4 or 5 guys that hit. Maybe some teams have more, but most teams only have a few guys that hit, so they have extra time because you're allotted a certain amount of time and you do get your work in.
And it's not eyewash grounders. Like the teams that I've seen, it's really heated. What? Really heated about the Dodgers sweep? Why is that?
I guess I don't know. Well, the game that we always play that apparently you don't like them. Yeah, someone's just gonna pop in the chat. You love this team, you hate this team. You're like, well, actually, in fairness, the Brewers, they were a former team of yours. That's fair.
The Brewers,
By the way, I'm
absolutely.
not sad at all. I'm just going to say I picked
This
the
part
Dodgers.
is ridiculous.
I picked the Dodgers
okay?
and the Mariners before the playoffs started.
Yeah.
So I'm
But
not sad at
also,
all. I don't really
there are
care,
plenty
but I'm
of-
not sad.
There are plenty of Dodger fans that watch us regularly that would say, feel like these guys are pretty nice to the Dodgers, deservedly so. They're really damn good at putting things together from top to bottom in the organization. And also, it is looking more and more evident like the division series was more of a challenge. In my mind, it felt like more of a challenge. I thought the Phillies were a better team and better built for the postseason, but I still didn't feel like the Phillies were built great for the postseason. It was the same mix.
If they had
Wheeler would have helped.
And
Wheeler would have
Sanchez
helped.
was so good this year. And
Yep.
listen, I talked to a lot of people. I've talked to a lot of people in baseball. Obviously, Kratz does too. Numerous people have said to me that was the World Series. The Dodgers and the Phillies and the DS. I saw John Middleton yesterday, and he was not very happy about it. He brought up the strike 3 call from Sanchez that wasn't called, and he's like, it would have been 2-2, and we would have come back to Philly, and you never know what would have happened. And I was like, well, you can't really do that, John. I'm sorry. But, yeah, I agree. It probably was a strike.
That's the Phillies owner, by the way, for anyone that doesn't know.
Yeah, he's the Philly. He owns the Phillies.
Mm-hmm.
One play doesn't change how it could have gone. It's just stuff to talk about. Just like Kirkering's play doesn't change it. But there's a lot of things that people could say, you know what? Hey, look what the Phillies did. Their starters outlasted the Dodgers' vaunted starters. Like every game that the Dodgers starters came out of, the Phillies had a lead. The Phillies starters, they pitched better, even though like neither team's starters did bad. And for the series, the Phillies out-hit the Dodgers. Now, the one game really propped that up. But that, in my opinion, and I said it beforehand, that was the World Series too. I completely agree. And people are like, oh, it sucks that they had to face off. No, it doesn't suck. You have to face the best teams. If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. If the best is in your league, you don't want to make it to the World Series and lose. You want to play the best teams. And right now, the Dodgers are the best team. Like that is clear, and they are hitting on all cylinders, and they are all healthy. A team that every week somebody was going down. Somebody big was going down. Them boys are healthy now. Ain't nobody feeling nothing.
And they're going to kick back and enjoy watching the other series and hoping that they beat each other up. These guys report they don't shade teams unless you're the Pirates. Yes.
Mark, you are spot
not the players
on.
though, Mark. Just to be clear,
Not the players.
The organization's a mess,
No.
not the players.
I love a lot of their players. A lot of their players
I do too.
are awesome.
Tommy
Yeah.
Pham, Gold Glove finalist, by the way.
I saw that. He's never won one, has he?
I don't think so.
What does that look? No.
Hey, okay, here's the deal. This is about a 30-minute show. We do one break, okay? TV does an hour of break. So one quick 1-minute break. Stick around. We'll come back. We'll look ahead at game 4. We'll also talk about if the Brewers have any semblance of a chance to even make this a series, and if you're a Dodger fan, who you should be rooting for in the American League Championship Series. All that coming up. This is for everyone listening right now. What are you wearing right now? And why isn't it MeUndies? Kratz, it is time for everyone to upgrade and get that super soft micro modal glory. So good that you don't want to take it off.
The reason I'm stone facing you is because that's how soft they are. It's ridiculous. Like I don't even understand what kind of material it is. It's got to be something space age for your butt.
Signature super soft micro modal fabric, breathable, stretchy, unbelievably cozy. And now you can even get glow in the dark, part of the Halloween line. Right now, as a listener of FT, you can get cozy and spooky for less with deals up to 50% off at MeUndies.com/foul. Enter promo code FOUL. That's MeUndies.com/foul. Promo code FOUL for up to 50% off MeUndies. Comfort that's made for fall. We're back. Thanks for bearing with Kratz being an underwear model. You did it. It's the FT Live postgame show presented by the Fox One app. Braun, Kratz, Pierzynski. Let's keep talking. So first off, for game 4, AJ, The Brewers just announced they are starting Ashby. No, I'm kidding.
I was
But
going to say.
I just wanted to throw it out there. He might. I mean, they might just do it till they die. He might start every game next year. But in all seriousness, you should see a lot of Quintana. And I'm assuming Ohtani's going to pitch. Is there any chance that the Dodgers would hold him back because they're up 3-0 and they don't want to waste the start and the bullets? No, you definitely start him for the dub.
Who else are they going to start? If he starts and they win the game, they get like 10 days off, and then everyone will be complaining that they have too long off or whatever it is. I don't know what the exact day is.
They won't be.
No, they won't be. But no, you start your best. And why would you hold him up? Hold him off for what? Game 5 when you could have Blake Snell on normal rest? What are we holding him out for? Who's going to pitch? Come on, Scott. You're being silly now. You just like sometimes, Scott. I think you just like being silly.
I do, and I asked a question. I didn't say I was going to do it. I'm pitching Ohtani in Game 4. I just said, you think there's any chance that something happens and they hold him back, Kratz?
No.
I would need to see Dave Roberts give me a full out explanation of why you would not throw Shohei Ohtani. It's Shohei Ohtani's turn because Blake Snell's throwing Game 5. What would you save him for Game 1? So that he can maybe throw Game 7 of the World Series? That is the worst. Although maybe the Brewers would make that decision. Maybe the Brewers would get cute if they were up 3-0 and they're like, well, we got here doing this. Let's just abandon it and do something else. No, it's Shohei Ohtani's. If it's not Shohei Ohtani's, I won't wear my hat for the show tomorrow. How about that?
Whoa. I've never heard that before. I like that. Now I'm calling Doc.
I'm calling Dave right now and being like, please make sure we
just ask him for an opener for one pitch. And then
they don't have enough. They don't have enough weapons for that. They don't have guys that are for me to do that. Their bullpen is built for their starters to go deep into the game, and then Doc can match up with Vesia, Banda, Trinan, Sasaki, whoever he needs to. That's how their team is built. Their team is built on depth of starters. Or are they going to start Emmett Sheehan tomorrow and then hope he goes a couple innings and then because then if they lose they got to go to Game 5 and no, Scott, it was just a bad question, Scott. There are no dumb questions, only people that ask them.
Yep.
Kershaw. Isn't he on the roster or no? Is he on the roster this round?
I mean, yes. I mean, if Kershaw gets to start. If Kershaw gets to start, that is a fair, but I would have to understand why you wouldn't go with the better pitcher.
No, you're starting Ohtani. Let's just get it out. Just listen. If they're up 10-0 and Clayton comes in and closes it out, that would be awesome. Okay, but he's not starting a game unless something crazy happens.
Okay. I would like to give credit to something you just brought up, AJ. The Dodger bullpen was the shaky part, but tonight, it was a traditional Dodger bullpen that won the game for them, right? They rolled out, like you said, some matchups and then Roki to close it out.
The whole postseason.
Yeah, but some guys right, but like Vesia, Banda, Trinan, Doc's trying to figure out who else he can trust. Let's say there's a longer series in the World Series. He's got it down now, right?
Here's what I'm going to tell you. And Kratz, I think you would agree. And you can tell me, maybe you don't. I don't know. I'm going to tell you this right now. It just shows you when you have a guy you trust in the 9th inning. This is why closers by committee don't always work. You got to have that guy in the bottom of the 9th that can come in and get you 3 outs, okay? Or the top of the 9th, because it sets everybody up in a better role. Last year was Trinan, or whoever. It was supposed to be Tanner Scott this year. But when you have that guy you trust in the 9th, it's Sasaki now, right? You can use Vesia here. You can use Banda here. You can use Trinan here. You can use Sheehan here. It just sets up your bullpen in a better spot. And as a manager, it's the best feeling in the world when you have that hammer in the 9th that you can go to. And Sasaki, if he throws that split over the plate like he has, good luck, boys.
But no, that's not true. And I'll tell you why it's not true. Because the computer says, no way that has anything to do with anything in the game. It's all just about the numbers. No, of course it's true, AJ. Like what you said was exactly how you win games in tight spots. Because if you look up and you're like, what? We're winning 2-0? Like, why do we have Roki in? Roki's been closing games out for us. Why do we have Last year, Blake Trinan in the third inning. You know the teams that do that? The teams that are panicked. The teams that are like, whoa, boy, we got to get this. The teams that are losing, they're like, okay, we got to get this guy out of here. Quintana starts tomorrow for the Brewers. He gets in any trouble. Okay, we got to get him out. Abner Uribe pitched in the sixth inning. The Brewers' backs were against the wall. Winning teams make winning decisions, and when they lock down the closer role, nobody 3.5 weeks ago would have said it was Roki Sasaki, especially when you watched his second to last outing in AAA, and he was throwing 92 to 94. Then he threw 2 more outings in AAA. He's throwing 100, and you're like, oh, well, maybe that fork ball, because it's not a splitter. Stop calling it a splitter. It's a fork ball. Get the new logo on the top of the screen to say fork ball. And it's a lights out pitch, and he's throwing strikes. No brainer. 100 miles an hour, fork ball. See ya. He's not throwing strikes. Now we got to figure it out. But until then, we are in control.
Here's listen. I'm gonna eat crow on this one. I said earlier that I didn't think Sasaki would be on the roster, and here he is closing out games. I mean, the way he was pitching, the way he pitched early in the year, and the way he was pitching in AAA, I didn't think he'd even sniff the roster. And here he is closing out games. So I tip my cap to Roki Sasaki. I tip my cap to the Dodgers, their pitching coach, their pitching development people, that they saw something. Didn't see it coming. So way to go.
Hey, do you guys remember when Aaron Savali was traded by the Brewers because he requested to be dealt? There were too many starters for the Brewers. They had a surplus. They didn't have room for him. Oh, how times have changed. And at times during the year, you're looking at the Dodgers rotation like, is everyone going to be okay and ready for the playoffs? Well, that question was answered. This part pisses me off, AJ. And some of this can be attributed to losing someone like Brandon Woodruff. That was a big loss for them. But I hate the smoke and mirrors. I feel like the Brewers are capable of actually throwing starters out there. I know this is getting back to what we talked about at the beginning of the show, but veering away from that plan, I think, sends the wrong message within your organization, right? The Brewers are most likely about to get bounced, and their thing is they have a lot of regular season success. This is some postseason success, but again, they're going to fall short. And if I'm the org, I would like to tell the Quinn Priester, the Jacob Misiorowski, young starters that have gotten them to this point, start the damn game. We have confidence in you with the baseball.
Let's be honest. Andrew Vaughn did help him on this run, so he was traded for Savali. So they got that one right. Okay, they had a guy that didn't.
I'm not saying bad trade.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. But
they felt like they had too many starters, and they're doing
Anderson. What was his name? Anderson. Didn't they have
Henderson? Logan Henderson.
Henderson.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, they had Freddie. Obviously, his Priester, Woodruff,
Chad Patrick,
yep, who's in the bullpen now. Misiorowski at the time, right? There's 5.
What
was the guy Henderson?
Pitcher of the year. Pitcher of the year for him. Righty that was from last year's pitcher of the year.
Tobias Myers.
He was in AAA though. Yeah.
Quintana.
I mean, Quintana. Yeah, but he ended. Yeah, I mean, but those are. Listen, Quintana has been a starter his entire career. Like, start him tomorrow. He's left-handed. Just start him tomorrow. What are we messing around with? Just start him tomorrow.
Didn't he start games for the Mets in the playoffs last year?
Yeah.
Quintana? Yeah.
And
I get it. He was
really
towards the end of the year.
This year? Hasn't he been really good for the Brewers when he's gotten to start?
To me, is there a glaring Jose Quintana shouldn't or Misiorowski should not start because first inning he just gets lit up? It is awful. Like, he does not, like, if there's something like that glaring, yes. But are we really saying that is how, like, this was a glaring, like, issue for us the whole year? We have to start an opener, or are we just trying to be a little too cute, as AJ said?
Too cute. Miz, you want to make the one case for someone like him, rookie? He's had some issues early in games, wasn't the same in the second half. Okay. And he's been a cool weapon, but everyone else, like, just line up your damn rotation, right?
Yeah.
There are guys, the guys you mentioned just now. I agree. It might not matter at all, but like you guys said, Freddie P, Quintana, Patrick, Priester. That's already 4 right there. Sure, you want to mess around and have Miz appear in multi-inning portions of games. And if you want to have a short leash on the guys, like that's okay too. But whatever. The Dodgers are showing how significant traditional starting pitching matters. And also, I mean, these guys are all aces. These are 4 aces.
Also, let's not forget, for all those years, it was the Dodgers that were always trying to be cute and tricksy. Now, this year, they said, you know what? We're going all in on starters. And they did. And it's worked. It's worked. So they've always the team, Rich Hill. Remember the Rich Hill fiasco where he's like throwing a no-hitter or one-hitter or whatever it was, and they took him out. And they thought they learned their lesson from the Blake Snell, who's now on their team trick, right? Blake Snell, 6 innings, whatever it was in 2020 when I got COVID from Justin Turner. Just kidding. In Texas. Remember they took him out in Game 6 and the Dodgers went on to beat, I think it was Fairbanks maybe. I forget who it was. They brought in a righty and they beat him and they scored the run. So the Dodgers have learned. The Dodgers adapt. The Dodgers do what they think is best for their roster. And that's why they won last year and they're on the verge of going to the World Series again.
There's some good comments in here. Jason said Murph's doing peak 2021 Dave Roberts with the way that they're handling the pitching staff. And then Jim said if the Brewers owner spent on some pitching depth, either preseason or at the deadline, this would be a closer series. Bingo. Or a bat. Hey, my big thing, and he hasn't performed great in the second half, was Brewers can use a Geno Suarez, right? I mean, they didn't end up needing someone like a Naylor. Vaughn's been very good for them, but there are moves that could have been made. Miz deserves better. Here's my thing. The Brewers often don't do much transaction-wise. They do a fantastic job of drafting, developing, scrap heap pickups. I get it. Small market team, I get it. They can spend a little bit more. They can. I promise you. They're not poor. They're profiting. So they could do a little bit more to try and give this a fight. And this is why you have such a battle in our sport. But you do have a side of fans that are like, good for the freaking Dodgers. They're not the only ones that spend money. They're trying their asses off. They've become a behemoth because they try hard. They're successful. People come to the games. They make a ton of money. They take that money and spend it on the team.
And they also have a top to bottom, we are this organization. We're going to do it this way. And now they're like, churning. They're just an engine that just repeats over and over and over again. And if they end up winning this World Series, which is so hard to do, win back to back, they're going to be just this juggernaut, just this stone rolling downhill, catching momentum because their team's not going away. They're minor leaguers that are coming up because they use 40 guys throughout a season because not all their starters are going to make their 20 to 25 starts. Like they're just continually adding to this roster, and they're going to be tough. They're going to be tough for years to come because they've set up from top to bottom, from the ownership to the front office. They ask each other questions. They're not afraid of the tough answers, and they're always looking to win. And they've gotten away from being cute.
Yeah, and the Mets spend almost as much as the Dodgers, and they didn't even crack the postseason. Partially because they didn't believe in traditional starters and allocating too much of their funds that way. So we'll talk about that all off season long. For now, Dodgers dominating, okay? This game was close score-wise, but it didn't feel that way. Congrats to them. They're up 3-0 in this series, and thanks everyone for checking this out. A couple reminders. First of all, thanks to MLB Perfect Inning 25 for hooking us up with the player card and the whole deal. Also want to remind everyone, tomorrow's show includes Will Benson of the Reds, Seth McClung, who's a former Brewer. They'll both join us and one other guest for our 1 o'clock Eastern time show. And for MLB Perfect Inning 25 fans, if you don't have the game, you can experience the unique thrill of the real-time PvP baseball game in MLB Perfect Inning 25, which is free to download. Scan the QR code right now to get in on the action. And we'll say bye on our way out with a little trailer for the game. See you on Friday.